Hi, I wanted to thank you for watching our video tonight. We are going to show you a little bit about soldering. The last video that I did not explain a few things that I really wanted you to know about soldering. First of all, I'm going to give you a little overview of what you need to solder. You need your Weller 100-watt soldering gun, which is, in my opinion, the best soldering gun there is, especially for jewelry making. You need your stand to put your soldering gun in. Your stand holds a little sponge, and you need to keep your sponge wet so that you can clean your tip off every now and then. So you want to wet your sponge and put it in your little well right there. You will need solder, and lead-free solder is what you want. This is a 1 pound spool of solder, and it's lead-free. It's for stained glass, and that's what you want to always purchase, is the lead-free solder for stained glass. You will also need flux, and I highly recommend the paste flux, because it lasts a lot longer, and it's also not quite so messy. It doesn't get inside your memory glass and on your paper. So the paste flux is what I recommend. You also need your copper tape. Copper tape seems to work the best over silver or gold. It comes in different widths, and it comes in two different varieties. You have the scallop and you have just the plain edge, and it comes in different widths in both also. Today I'm going to show you what the scallop looks like, since I did the straight edge soldered tape the other day. So you'll need copper tape. You will need a flux brush, of course, and a soft bristle is better because it just seems to get the areas a little bit better than a stiff brush. You will also need some sort of a third hand, and we have these right here that we have available, and they're just really nice because if you're doing a lot of memory glasses, you can just line them right up right here and just go and do several at a time. So this is nice to have. Also, what is really nice to have is this temperature control. You want to make sure that you do not keep your iron on unless you are soldering. So this temperature control helps really just basically to turn it off and on easier than unplugging and plugging in. So this is not a must-have, but it is something that's really nice to have. So also you need a roller to roll your tape on once you get it on there, and I showed you that in the last video, but you want to roll it so that you can burnish your tape on really well. So once you get all of that done, you get your memory glass taped with your tape, then you are ready to solder. So memory glass comes in several different sizes. This is a 2x2 right here. And it comes in all different sizes and sometimes even shapes. The shaped are a little bit harder to work with, so I recommend that you don't do shapes until you get really good at soldering and taping. So that's that. One other thing I want to tell you about your soldering gun and the care is after you turn it off and after it's completely cooled down, about 30-45 minutes after you totally shut it off, you need to unscrew your tip and take it out and then replace it after it totally cools down. If you will do that, then you'll always be able to remove your tip and interchange it. If you don't, then your tip could just kind of solder itself inside, and it's not going to be able to get removed each time. So just a good tip there so that you know that you can interchange your tips. This is a small tip, and we have larger tips, but it comes with the largest tip there is, but this is actually called a screwdriver tip, and it's the perfect size for soldering your memory frame. So this is what I did, is I took some holiday paper, and I just put it between two pieces of glass and put my scalloped tape around it, And the scallop tape is neat because anywhere that there's scallops, that's what you're going to solder. You're going to actually, it's going to look like you've soldered scallops. So I went ahead and I fluxed it really good with my flux brush. You only want to flux what you are working on. Now we'll tell you about flux. It will burn your skin, so you don't want to get it on your fingers, or if you do, you need to wash it off within 5 or 10 minutes. So you might keep some wet wipes around so that if you do touch your hands, you will, want to wash it off pretty quick. So you're just going to put it in your little third hand, like so, and tighten it. You don't want to tighten it tight because you are working with glass. And the neat thing about this one is that you can tilt it and see what you're doing. So this is your solder, and I always keep my solder like this so that it's really easy to grab your solder and just put directly on your project. So you're just going to melt your solder and get just about that much on your tip, and then you're just going to spread it like that. And then get some more, and the neat thing about the scallop is it's just going to go right into the scallop like that. So you're going to want to go all the way around wherever it is that you have your, I always put 3 layers just because I like a thicker layer of solder. So that's all that I've got fluxed. If it won't stick, you don't have it fluxed. So then I'm going to turn it around to the back, and I'm going to solder the back. And I put a little thicker layer in the back. So that's what you're going to get right there. And the more layers you put on there, the thicker it looks, but it's really a cute look. So another thing that I wanted to tell you about is keeping the tip of your soldering iron tinned. You should have this ammoniac right here, which is not a must-have, but it's really a great thing to have, I think, because it tins your tip faster than just cleaning it, or than just, you never, ever want to clean your tip with like steel wool or anything like that, because that will ruin your tip. But you want to really keep your tip tinned by just dipping it in a little bit of your solder, and then take your ammoniac and just give it a good turn around. And you can see how nice and tinned that tip is. And that's how you want to keep your tip. If it gets to where you're not able to solder or pick up your solder, you need to tin your tip. And that's how you do it. It's always good if you would just drop just a little bit of solder down into your ammoniac. If you let it just drip down in there like that, that makes it tin even faster. So I always just keep a little bit of solder down in there, and it just makes it really fast. Otherwise, you just need to, if you don't have the ammoniac, you just need to keep tinning it with your solder until you get it really good and tinned. It takes a lot longer, but this ammoniac's really a lifesaver for that. So that wraps up this video, and the reason I wanted to do this video is to hopefully answer all your questions about how to get started with soldering. We'll have lots of soldering classes coming up, so be sure and keep in touch with us through our YouTube channel. Thank you again for watching this video, and I hope this helps a lot.